Hello, and welcome to the Standpoint. Another week, another exciting program for you, not to laugh, but to learn, to get empowered, to get educated, to get motivated, to be encouraged. Because this year, the Standpoint, our theme is the woman as an achiever. We can achieve anything and everything we put our minds to. But sometimes you may be in a situation where you wonder, is it ever going to be possible? Can I ever achieve anything? Because you don't have any help, you don't have any support, you don't have anybody who you think can come to your aid or can help you to be an achiever, to achieve your dream. But today, you are in for a surprise. You are in for a surprise. My guest will be telling us about when all you have is faith and self-determination. That's all you have. Faith. And you know I'm the super crazy woman when it comes to faith. But this one, her faith. Well, my name is Gifty, and welcome to the Standpoint. Yes, we do have a program for you, and you don't have to miss any bit of it. Anyway, let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth. Ophelia Crossland Design sews for me, and she made this dress for me. Thank you so much to Ophelia. My earrings, yes, by Kua Accessories and Kua Design. They are at Laboni, in the same building with the GT Bank, so they are not difficult to find at all. Makeup, as always, provided by Paba Cosmetics. They are also at Laboni and East Legon, and many outlets. You can find Paba, and you always must go for Paba because it is originally Ghanaian. There's a Ghanaian woman behind it. I've used Paba for over 6 years, and I haven't changed. I haven't used anything. I'm very, very comfortable with it. I can recommend it for you any day, anytime. And then it's all put together by Makeup and More. We'll be back.
Oyo best my power.
Tina tomac mixture. Oh, be only osani yefuyeri be niasem. Sana tina tet malake so. Etu malaria, tipaye, stress, any hunam yao biase.
Free 020-816-0807 and 0276-875629.
Tina tetinyo.
Eye busien chamfa.
Nadu Aishatu Asantua Olali. Is it good fortune or your attention to detail or the amazing color that surrounds you? Is it something about your good taste? Is it your kitchen in the kitchen that brings out your delicious Ghanaian flavor? Luko, see taste. Ayeko mama, with Gianni and your cooking is Ghana's good fortune. Omotuo, fried rice, chinkafa dewachi. Whether it's Nigerian or Ghanaian jollof, the debate ends here because you know that your flavor needs the right rice. Introducing Fortune Rice from the House of Frightor. Fortune Rice, the right rice for Ghana's great flavor.
Class, this is Nescofa. Today our topic is anemia. Anemia is a medical condition where there is lack of iron in the blood. Symptoms may include headaches, weakness, loss of appetite, and tiredness.
Nescofa Blood Tonic is fortified with iron, prevents and treats anemia, and ensures good health. Another quality product from NS Chemists.
Okay. Welcome back. If you just joined us today, we are going to find out how you can be an achiever when all you have is faith and self-determination. Let me say thank you to our sponsors. That's African Women's Development Fund, AWDF. They've been supporting African women's rights organizations for over 15 years. They are doing amazingly well, and we are always grateful to them because they've held our hands for the past 4 years, and I don't know what we would have done without them. Anointed Electrical Engineering Services, the generator expert. Tinted Herbal, Lip Tomato Paste, good tomato, good taste. NS Chemists, they produce Auntie Mary's Baby Gripe Mixture and Nescafe Blood Tonic. Wilma Africa Limited, manufacturers of Phytol cooking oil and Fortune rice, which comes in three different types. The green Fortune rice is very good for soft dishes like omutuo. You can also use it for rice water. It's very good. And when I talk about the colors, it's not that the rice is green, no. It's the packaging that is green. Okay, so it's the packaging. The different types, you can identify them by the packaging. So the green one is very good for omutuo. And then the orange one is suitable for wache. And wine-colored Fortune Thai rice is fantastic for jollof and fried rice. So we say thank you. They are our sponsors. We say thank you to them. Now let me come to the studio. I know you are waiting, you're itching. You want to see my guest for today. My guest today is called Juliana Amma Blofia. I won't tell you who she is because we are driving at something. All I'll say is that she now walks at the corridors of power from where she's coming from, when all she had was faith and self-determination. Amma, welcome to The Standpoint.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Who are you and where are you coming from? Because all I knew about you until we met about 2 weeks ago, personally. So this is the second time I'm seeing you personally. All I knew about you is that you are my friend on Facebook. You write very well. You believe in women. You're always motivating, encouraging women. You supported the Awo Danswa reading project when we started. You were even in the country, but you sent your nephew to bring us books. So that's all I know about you.
Juliana Amma Blofia. I like the Amma a lot.
Yes, Amma is a beautiful name.
Yes. And I'm a Voltarian.
Okay.
Both of my parents come from the Volta region, the Anglo side.
Okay.
But they traveled to the northern Volta side.
Okay.
In search of livelihood. There my father became the chief of the village there.
Right.
So he married 6 women, and my mom was the last of the 6, and he made 31 children,
Chai.
Of which I'm the last baby.
Number 31.
Yes.
Number 31.
Yes.
Wow.
Growing up was fun. As the last baby of the chief, very pampered, and everybody wanted to be your friend. So that's how growing up was. The foundation was like the princess of the village chief.
Okay.
Yes.
And how did you find your way to Accra?
Yeah. My dad was, our life at the time was we were like the rich of the village standard richness, sort of. He was the distributor for those days Tata breweries.
Okay.
Accra breweries and Coca-Cola. The road networks then were bad. There were no electricity, but we had a generator plant at home.
Okay.
And he was a distributor, so life was good. Then before I could be 8 or 7, between 7 and 8, everything was finished. The generator plant broke down. He couldn't refurbish it. The businesses got bad. Yeah, he believed in education, so all of them went to school to a certain point. Okay. His philosophy was, when you go to school and if you are the girl and you get a boyfriend, he will call you to his palace and ask you to choose between marriage and education.
Okay.
And if you got pregnant, that one, automatic marriage. You marry the person who got you pregnant.
Lord have mercy.
So that was life. And then at a point, he was not employing people anymore. His kids, whenever they return from secondary school, Form 4 or 6 from those days, they take over running of the business. That is how the business ran down. Oh. Everything went down. So by the time I was in JSS, there was no, our time it was JSS, now JHS. There was no money for school or for anything. But within me, there was this desire for more.
So when you say there was no money, so did it mean that then you had to drop out of school?
Yes.
Okay.
You had to. There was no money for school fees, no money for a lot of the things that will make you comfortable in school.
Okay.
So I struggled through the GSS at the time.
Okay.
I would do cut cake and take it to school and entice my friends to buy it on credit. And then I will hustle them for the money. If you don't pay me, I'll be in your mother's house. So because they don't want my visit to their parents, they will pay me.
Pay the money.
And that's how I will make extra money to buy the things I want to be comfortable in school.
Okay.
Then I went through JHS in a place called Kwame Krom.
Okay.
In the Volta region. It's about 4 hours drive from here, in the Volta region.
Okay.
Yes. So after I completed JHS, I passed over. My dream school was Ola Girls. Yes. And then they had written that I should come to school, but there was no money for the admission fee. There was no money for anything. Then my dad called me and said that he liked me so much. We were actually buddies, but I broke all his rules anyway.
Rebel.
So he said, okay, because there's no money to fund the 3-year secondary school, he would rather look for money so I could go and learn the hairdressing. And I said, okay, I'll learn the hairdressing just for you. And after the hairdressing, I'll still find my way in school because I wanted to become a lawyer. And hairdressing and lawyer, they are worlds apart. And he said, okay, since I was not going to listen to his offer, it's okay. I should go ahead with whatever I wanted to do. So I decided that life was better somewhere else. And at that time, he had a sugarcane plantation. So I became the Oga of the sugarcane plantation. I made myself self-imposed.
How old were you?
I was about 13. I completed GSS around 12 years.
Okay.
So we harvest it, and then we'll go and there was a machine in the village at the time that could extract the juice from it.
Right.
And then we'll use that juice to distill the local appetition. Yes. And then I'll sell it to the village people and make money.
13 years.
And because
Businesswoman.
Because the business was mine, the old man didn't have much say about who controls the money because I control the plantation up to distillation. So I control the money. And then I wanted to go to school with it. And he said he would not allow anyone to take care of his child and use it against him one day as the chief who couldn't take care of his child. So anytime you ask permission to travel, he would say no. So I knew if I asked permission to come to Accra, he was going to say no. I knew the answer. And if I walked boldly into any of the means of transportation at the time, nobody was going to pick me because they were afraid of him. So I devised a plan. I went, at that time, my mother sells a mat that is made from straws from the Volta region. It's around in Accra here. And I was going to sell it at the riverside for those who had come from other villages with boats. Okay. And the village, when the boat people come, they come with Kobe and Akosombonam, those things. And there were transportation that moved it to Adabraka. Okay. So I went to hide behind one of those 33-seater buses, very rickety one, behind the baskets. And they had packed baskets around, so nobody could see me.
Basket full of Kobe?
Yes, nobody could see me. Then along the journey, I started vomiting. And that's how come they knew that there was a contraband good.
Behind the Kobe.
Yes, and then they found out that I was there. The driver was terrified because he was afraid of what my father could do.
He knew your father?
Yes, everybody knew him. Okay. If you got to the town and you were stranded, you came to our house. He fed you, he did everything. He was really a good guy.
Okay.
So everybody knew him. Okay. And those days, the village chiefs had a lot of power.
Yeah, but when you were going to the riverside, did you already have that plan?
Yes.
That you were going to hide behind?
Yes.
So you knew, you had your plans already? And your plan was to come to Accra to do what? To see who?
To see my maternal uncle, who was a police officer. And in my little mind, he was going to send me to school. The moment I get here.
Did you know him? Had you spoken to him?
Yes.
No. He didn't know you were coming.
I knew him. We had met at the village a lot of times, but he didn't even know I was coming, because if he knew, he would say no out of fear for my dad.
Let me take a break. When we come back, we'll continue this. I don't know. At this moment, I don't know whether it's self-determination or it's faith, because we started with self-determination. Now we've reached where there's the faith that when I get to Accra, my uncle will take me to school. Well, I'd like to say thank you to our supporters. Go-Got Yogurt, always there for us. It's very nutritious, especially as a woman. Yogurt is very good for you, and all doctors will tell you that. Very, very original. You know, it's slightly flavored. It won't cause you any harm. So please patronize it as well. Let me say thank you to House of Food, Auntie Vera. What can we say? We are always grateful to you. You're really, really a good woman, and we are grateful. Thank you to Cake Technique for also supporting us for the past 2 years. We are grateful as well. Matamis gives us the port. Yep, cleaning services. If you're organizing any program or you need someone to come and clean your home, your office, they are the ones I recommend. Call them and they will be there to support you. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue the journey to Accra behind Kobe.
Odo, oyo best my power. Cause one num tinated venicare what? When him say tinated venicare, and num quania bibidra. Clinically, no, ya testing with Department of Pharmacology and Microbiology at University of Ghana on Medical School.
Sir?
Omudu stamp with say by Minia, num tinated venicare what?
Hey, tinated ambassador.
Abuya papa. 020-816-0807 and 0276-875629.
Tina 13 euro.
Hey,
Remember, this program is also aired on ABN TV on Sky Channel 235, which is across Western Europe, parts of Canada, Asia, and North Africa. Our website, www.thestandpoint.com.gh, is powered by Dream Oval. Now, so you survived behind the Kobe to a point. I'm sure when they saw you, they moved you to the main bus.
Yes.
And you got to Accra.
Yes.
When you got to Accra, how did you find your uncle? Did you find your uncle?
Yes, I did.
You found your uncle?
Yes, because he was a police inspector.
Okay.
So once we got to Adabraka at dawn, and then I told them I wanted to go to Ashama. They directed me. I got to Ashama and I told anybody I could find. I was looking for Chief Inspector Dogwache. And then they took me from one police station to the other until we found him.
What did he say when he saw you?
He was angry and sad at the same time. He was like, what if something had happened to you? And he was angry I took the risk. So I was back on the next available bus back to base.
So you were sent back to Kwame Grove?
Yes, because he was afraid of what my dad would do if he kept me. So he sent me back and then promised that he was going to talk to my dad and the two of them would raise the money. The money meant for hairdressing. They could top up and I'll go to Ola Girls. So I said, okay. And then he put me on the bus back and then I was back in Kwame Grove. So then I had to start working. So I sold firewood, like the same way I'll tell the boys, I want to go and gather firewood. If you go with me, you are my friend. And they will gather their friends and they will follow me. And then we'll go and gather firewood. And then I'll gather it and sell it to those who are into distilling. Because it uses a lot of firewood. And
you started your leadership role long time.
And then I'll convince my girls, and they'll follow me. We'll go and buy oranges. Initially, I started selling orange. I'll buy it from the people who brought it from the typical villages where my village became their city, sort of. When they bring it, I'll buy from them and I'll sell. Later, I realized, they were making more profit than me. So I told my friends, and they would rather walk 3 miles.
Before you
to
came
their
to Accra,
villages.
had you seen WC before?
No.
You hadn't seen WC?
No WC. Okay. Nothing. There was black and white TV in the village, but it wasn't in our home.
But did you get to go to Ola Girls?
No, I rather went to Odan Secondary School.
How
4 years after JHS.
4 years?
Yes. And in my mind, I was putting money together to go to school. How I was going to go, I didn't know, but I knew I was going to school. Then at that time, my big sister had returned from the city. She was in UCC at the time.
Okay.
And then she came and she brought books and nice things and nice stories about how city life is all about. And I'm like, wow, this is nice. So I'll follow her to Cape Verde. And she was like, she's a student, so I cannot come and live with her there. I said, okay. Then she left and had financial issues. She sent a letter to the house and there was no money. So I said, I've saved money. So if you give me the opportunity to travel, I can go and give the money I have to solve her problem. And then my father agreed. And that was my next journey, this one willingly. Then I went to Cape Coast and gave the money to her. Then her roommates, they were Accra girls, they didn't know how to cook. And I would wake up and then cook. And they were like, wow, they liked me. So if I want to stay, I should stay. So I became their roommates in Cape Verde at Adishi Hall, even when I wasn't a student there.
And you were cooking for them?
Yes. And that was where I received Christ. That's where faith comes in.
Right.
They had a program they called Pentifil or something.
Yeah.
And they had Reverend Ni Amodakun came about. Yeah. And the choir at the time, I remember they sang a song about, in this world of ours, is there hope for anyone? Are there answers to the questions we ask in our minds? Desperate situations, God will surely turn around. Hear the voice of God to all who believes. There is hope for the future. And that song hit me at the core. So after everything, when they said those who wanted to receive Christ, I went. Because I was born into a traditional home, so there was no Christ. But my sister had received Christ. She was in the choir that sang that song that touched me. And I received Christ that day. After a week, I went back to Kwame. And I wanted to be baptized, and my dad would not agree. So again, the stubborn me, I devised a plan with a cousin, and we ran away, and we got baptized. After that baptism, I now got to know that there was a God that supported everything I was thinking that everybody thought I was daydreaming. I remember back in JHS, anytime we were asked, what do you want to be? The girls talked about being married to a rich man who owns a boat. The boat is the one that transports the Kobe from the typical village to. They wanted to marry such people. And I would always say I wanted to be a lawyer. And the teacher would say, as for Juliana.
Had you even seen a lawyer before?
No. And the teacher would always say, as for Juliana, she likes building castles in the air. So when I got to know Christ and realized, the promises this man was promising, they were supporting whatever that was boiling up in me. Yeah. So I believed it. So now I believed everything I thought about that it was possible. Around that time, then somebody came and said they were looking for a house help. I knew my dad would disagree. So I went to convince the man who was the head teacher of the village GHS I had attended. His daughter was a nurse in Kolebu who wanted the house help. So I went to convince him to come and make it a personal appeal and take the title house help out of it so that the man can agree. And truthfully, the man agreed. He said, if your daughter will keep her and send her to school, all she wanted to do was go to school. Take her away. She's even here disturbing me with breaking all the rules. So he agreed. And that's how I came back to Accra to become a house help. But before then, when I came to Ashama, I had sold Ashidie at Ashama Fita Line. I had sold both floats at Ashama Fita Line. But I never identified with the environment. I saw myself as a bird in flight. I still see myself as a bird in flight anywhere I find myself. That's not the end. The end is when I'm dead. Until then, I'm a bird in flight wherever you find me.
While you're watching The Standpoint, we are talking about when all you have is faith and self-determination. This is the story of Juliana Ama Plofia. For now, we take a break. When we come back, the journey continues. But let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth, Ophelia Crossline Design, so this dress for me. My earrings today is by Core Accessories or Core Designs. They are at Laboni, easy to find them. Thank you to Power Cosmetics for the makeup product, and Makeup and More apply the makeup for us. We take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with Ame's story.
Life is full of memories. I remember I was sad because it had rained on my birthday, but my mother knew just how to make me smile. It was a day I will never forget.
One day I'll make your birthday special.
Make sure it's with Frital.
I have learned a lot from her, but what I remember the most is that day when she made me smile. Today, I make her smile.
That's special.
Frital, making life memorable.
Caring mothers always want to see their babies healthy and happy.
Seeing my baby happy like this brings me so much joy. Auntie Mary's baby gripe mixture was so helpful when his teeth started developing. He was in so much discomfort, but Auntie Mary's baby gripe mixture brought him fast and effective relief.
Say abofra baku so na wugu ni awonye wa hwe imofra mienu onya enda femu enu ti na me ma Auntie Mary's baby's gripe mixture empa me fie no
the ona imbofo bibio before nyonyo fe ya musuko hewo ni ewo anima wo Auntie Mary's baby gripe mixture ewa imbiyo ewa ade enche imbile he jole ni ewo ojoba.
Auntie Mary's baby gripe mixture hajijo popo vena vinye plenya ko ela bana vinye la alamusa ble nkokoma
lafi am baby na ne komi na o Auntie Mary baby gripe mixture na the cure ga baby na the na.
Auntie Mary's baby gripe mixture. It's quick and effectively relieves your baby's gastric pains, minor digestion upset, flatulence and teething discomfort. Ernest Chemist, providing quality and affordable medicine.
Welcome back to the standpoint when all you have is faith and self-determination. Ame's story. And let me say thank you to our sponsors, Wilma Africa Limited, manufacturers of Frital. You know Frital, I mean, from generation to generation, that's what we've been using. And they also produce Fortune Rice, which comes in 3 types. We have the green one, which is very good for soft dishes like a mutuo rice water and the rest. And then we also have the orange Fortune Rice, which is very good for wache, and then the wine packaged one, which is also very good for jollof rice and fried rice. Thank you to NS Chemist, producers of Auntie Mary's baby gripe mixture and Nescafe blood tonic. Lip tomato paste, good tomato, good taste. Tinatet herbal, Ebusuan Chemfa, and of course African Women's Development Fund, AWDF, supporting African women's rights organizations across Africa for over 15 years. And now Amma, that's how you became a house help.
Yes.
At
Kolebu Nurses Quarters.
Nurses Quarters. So you were house help for how long?
For about a year.
And then she took you to school?
Yes. She had visitors who were intrigued by my countenance. So the man, they were a couple. The man called me and said, what do I want to do? I said, I want to go to school. Then he said he was a teacher at Odan Secondary School. If he takes me there, will I go? I said, of course, I'll go anywhere once it's a school. And he said, okay. So he left and then came back and said he wanted to take me, but the family will have to plan a way to fund it. Then my madam said, okay, she will fund the entry. Then the family should fund the rest. So I was prepared and she gave me whatever she was using to fund it, and I was back in Kwame Krom to get the family to agree, because it's a 3-year journey. Right. So when I got to Kwame Krom, around that time, my big sister who was in Cape Verde had finished and was about to get married. Then during her wedding, I was the wedding present she got. The family told the husband that, okay, you get married, this little girl is disturbing everybody here, wants to go to school. So if you agree, take her to go and live with you.
Right.
And my sister found it strange because fresh marriage but the man said no. He would take me.
Okay.
So that man took me, Mr. DeGraff Johnson. He took me to Cape Coast to live with him and my big sister.
Okay.
And then whatever my madam had given for the entry, now they had a meeting with my sister's husband now leading the team to sponsor me. Okay. So he had a meeting with my siblings and we're like, okay, you bring this amount, you bring this amount. So they contribute every term and then I go back to school. It was a tough one because anytime you vacate, it means that whoever is part of the contributing factor, you have to visit them and offer your services.
Right, so you went to Odan Secondary, completed. You went to university as well?
Yes.
You went to which university?
University of Ghana.
University of Ghana. And how did you survive there?
I got sponsorship.
Okay.
From one man called Mr. Ofori Krantin. Mr. and Mrs. Ofori Krantin. They were really good. The woman would cook and bring it to me in school. And I was like a princess.
Wow.
And along the line, I had a boyfriend. And then he asked, what do I want to do? I said, I wanted to go to school. He was like, wow. He hardly hears that. He was abroad. And he was like, he hardly hears that. He hears people want clothes and shoes. And all I wanted to be was to go to school. He would support. So these two supports saw me through uni. And when I was in the second year in uni, then I started business. So during vacations, I will work. I work in a hotel. I used to work in Alexis Hotel while I was still a student. Then at a point, I said, I could run a food joint. Then I shared it with my boyfriend at the time. And he said, okay, if you want to go for it, I know you can make it. So I started a food joint called Exotic Delight. And I employed 4 girls. And we cook banku, and we do pepper, we do goat lice soup. And then I'll go to school and come back. So then I couldn't stay on campus fully because I had to come and supervise the business and go back to school. So that's how I went through Legon.
So now, through it all, fighting through, not giving up on yourself, it's taking winding roads and checkered roads and, back and forth, disappointments here and there, people laughing at you. Now you are actually working at the Flagstaff House, Office of the President, as the officer in charge of presidential households. Officer in charge of presidential households. And at a point, you became the first female to be head of transport at the Flagstaff House, Office of the President. You've been working there since 2008.
Yes.
Till date.
Yes.
And just a few days back, you were promoted to the position of
Assistant Director 1.
So you were employed there when MPP was in government?
Yes.
MPP lost. Professor Tamils of NDC came.
Yeah.
You still work there. They didn't kick you out.
No.
Professor Atamils, may his soul rest in perfect peace, passed on. A former president, John Mahama, became the president, moved to the Flagstaff at US. There, they didn't kick you out.
No.
Okay. NPP has won. You are still there. And not only are you still there, in their first 3 months, you've been promoted. Who are you? Who do you think you are?
I think I'm a child of destiny. I don't know. For going to the office of the president, during Legon days, when I completed, the University of Ghana wrote to me and said they owed me. I'm like, only God can do this. When I had my admission letter, there was no money in my hands. I paid my fees, my admission fee, about 2 weeks after everyone else had paid. So how could I have completed and they owed me? So I felt that was something I should be thankful for. So I went to church to give testimony. I don't even shut up.
I was going to say it. I like to give testimony.
So I went to church to give testimony that this is what God can do. So if you are in any situation that you think there's no hope, there is hope, because God could take a poor child to university where she didn't deserve to go. And the school owed her. They wrote to me, and that letter meant so much to me, that they wrote to me that we
they
owe you. Come for your money. So I said it in church, and the pastor, the tradition at the church, Royal House Chapel at the time, Holy Ghost Temple, the tradition at the time was that when you give testimony, the pastor will pray to establish it. So when he was about to pray, then he said, I plant you on the corridors of power. You will speak and men will listen. And he said other things, but those two statements stuck with me.
Do you still want to be a lawyer?
Yes.
So you still go to law school?
Yes, I'll still
You're
do
now
law.
married?
Yes.
You have kids?
Yes, 2 boys.
2 boys. If I may pry a bit, your husband, is he the boyfriend who was abroad?
No. The boyfriend who was abroad at a point said that his mother didn't want an Ewe. And that's their loss anyway.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you made that point. That is their loss.
Yes,
indeed.
it is their loss. Yes.
Okay.
So I later married an insurer.
Yeah, he's an insurer.
Yes.
What's his name?
He's Alfred Ajay Davison. He works with Unique Insurance. He's the marketing manager there.
And I'm sure he's very proud of you.
He should be.
Wow. I mean, I wish we could go on, but you know, our time is up. But in conclusion, what do you want to say to that young girl out there who thinks she has no hope? She has no one to help her. She has no where to turn. And therefore, she has given up on herself or is doing other things that she's not supposed to do with the hope of becoming an achiever.
To the young girl out there, your situation does not define you. You define your situation. Where you are born, who you are born to, does not determine what you become. You determine what you become. Just go into the Bible or whatever you believe in, because I've read all the faiths. They all speak the same message. So go into whatever you believe in and get the details of what the Creator said you are. Believe in that and take it up. I want to say that as a lady, they will tell you, people will tell you, use what you have to get what you want. Use what you have, yes, I agree, but not what's between your legs. Use what's in your head, because you have a lot up there that can transform your life. There's a scripture in the Bible, a story in the Bible that I love so much. There was a man who was sitting by the pool, by the muddy pool for 38 years, claiming he had nobody to put him in when the river was stirred. But the day he decided to take up his mat himself, that was the day he got his deliverance. It means that no matter what the situation is, it's until you get up that the solution you want will come. If you sit in it and sing the pity party, you get people who will join you to sing the song. But at the end of the song, what next? So to you, girl, get up there. There's something within you. Explore it, and let's grab seats at the decision-making table. I'm waiting for you there. Join me, and let's make womanhood proud. Thank you.
Well, I've been talking to Juliana Amak-Blofia, and she's a woman of faith. She's a woman of determination. She said she's a bird in flight. Before we go, I'll be back with a bit of me. When all you have is faith and self-determination. For years, I have preached faith on the standpoint, and I've told you that I'm a woman with super crazy faith in God. And yes, because I know what God can do. I've experienced it. I have seen him do for other people, and I say that I'm a walking testimony. But you see, having faith doesn't mean that you won't have challenges. Having faith doesn't mean that people will not disappoint you. Having faith does not mean that you won't be betrayed. Having faith does not mean that you won't have fears. Those things will be there. But when you have faith in God, you know that God will not let you crash. He will not let disgrace come your way. He's got you covered, not just your back. He's got you covered. My dear one, the Bible says faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God. But let me add this too. There's no one in the Bible who God used or God helped who was sitting at one place. You need to make an effort. If you believe in God, you take the step of faith. If you have the faith in God, you take the step of faith. It doesn't matter where you start. It's important though, the journey you take and the road you travel on. But what matters most is how you end up. The future matters most. Don't give up on yourself, my dear lady. What is it? Broken heart? Poverty at home? Failed marriage? Abusive relationship? Whatever it is that you're going through, believe that God is there for you. My name is Ohineyere Gifty Auntie. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, super crazy faith works. See you same time next week. Bye for now.